Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's live stream. So, we're just going to wait for people to arrive and for the channel to populate, and we'll just have a Friday night chat, 8 o'clock as always, um, and we'll see how things go from there. I will only be able to stay for a short period tonight because I have family commitments this evening. As you can tell, I'm rather a nice Gansy on tonight for a Friday night. But as always, I said I'd do the live stream. Live stream comes first. Friday night. I know an awful lot of guys look forward to it. Um, so yeah, Nick. Good evening, all. Hello, Nick. How are you? Welcome. Um, how's everyone doing? But yeah, an awful lot of the lads like watching the live stream, so I try to make it every week. Howdy, boss. Listening on the bus back to Leitrim. Oh, have a good one, Patrick. Hope the connection stays good. Here we are. Well, there, Stan. How's things? Um, I hope Military Collectibles come in tonight because I got an envelope off him during the week. Um, he found. Just find a few here. Yeah, he found extra lot of badges he had. If any of you seen that video that he put up, he found a bag of patches that he had found, and I asked him, could I get? Did he want to trade for the first infantry and the third infantry? The reason for the first infantry is because they were the famous Big Red One, and the third infantry, which is this one, this was Audie Murphy's division, who was the most decorated soldier during the Second World War, American soldier during the Second World War. Um, so I asked him for them, but he gave me extra ones. Nice guy, sound for doing it, but I'm not 100% sure what they are. So I was hoping he'd be in tonight that he could just give me a little help what they are. And then there's that one, or is it that one? I'm not sure which way that one goes. You have A, and then this one I do know, which is the first armored. Um, so yeah, so I know three out of six, and I need help with the other three. So hopefully he'll be around today. Um, so we'll see. We'll see anyway. Uh, David, how are you? Or you were on? I am on. I am on. Dave, how are you? He's just uploaded a video about 10 minutes ago. Oh, I must have a look and see when I get a chance what he's on. As I said, lads, I can literally, if I push it till 10 past 9, we should be all good. But family commitments this evening, tonight, so can't be going too hectic. As you can see, all done up. My Primark, my most expensive Primark jumper and shirt. What the hell? They work. It saves me more money that I can use on um airsoft stuff, military collecting stuff. The reason I said airsoft in there, I have airsoft and stuck in my head, is because I in Ireland it's the easiest way for us to get replicas for collecting things like that, and I've been after one for ages, because it's an iconic weapon that you see carried in Northern Ireland in the Op banner and stuff like that. Well, there's two weapons that I've been after that are iconic. One is the M1 Garand. Um, I was hoping to get a Denex version of that, but um, for some reason the Denex market in Ireland seems to have dried up. They're very hard to find. And the other one was a Sterling SMG. Um, I have seen DX, but like that again, when you're talking for the DX, you're talking 500 plus. Um, so I was hoping to try and see if I could pick up an airsoft version of it. So I was searching around today in the shops in Ireland, and there's bloody not one single one, I'd say, in the entire Emerald Isle for sale at the minute. Was not on the guest list, it seems. Who wasn't on the guest list, it seems? Oh, you're not on the guest list. Well, I suppose I could bring you, but to be quite entertaining. Um, to find out what would happen. Sterling 1976 laser gun. Yeah, that's if any of you don't know that the interesting thing about the Sterling was actually used for some of it was the base gun that was used for some of the pulse rifles in Star Wars. It was the Sterling that they actually based it off of. Um, Little non-trivia fact for you. Um, I don't know how much some of you guys are, right. In my collecting, I sort of vary between looking up things. 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, but I sort of vary between looking up items, and um today was my Vietnam day for some reason. I just whatever I had it in my head, I was looking up Vietnam stuff. Um, and there's still some quite reasonably priced items there in relation to Vietnam. Um, I wasn't looking at anything particular. Well, I was actually. Sorry, I was looking for an M56 belt, and I was M56. Am I right? British is 58 pattern. American is M56. Yeah, there's so many abbreviations and stuff to try and remember. But yeah, so it was an M56 belt, and I was just looking up an M56 belt because I want to try and do like all my weapon sets that I have for my Australian are standard, with two ammo pouches, two water bottles, and the haversack in the middle. Whereas I want to try and do like a special forces type of one, whereas they have like different pouches, different water bottles, stuff like that. Um, but I was also looking for what's called a serbo harness, which is a harness that they would have worn that they could have been extracted by helicopters. Literally, a rope comes down, picks them up, buggers off with them, right? Um, and I found one of them as well. But I didn't buy them. I didn't buy them yet. But I was just shocked by the amount of reasonably priced Vietnam stuff is. So yeah. Um, where have we gone? Sterling, it was the MG 42. Yes, the MG 42 also was used to base some of the pulse rifles on, but the Sterling was used for. Can't remember which one it was. Sterling was used to use to base some of the guns on as well. Single shot or full, just as accurate. The Sterling, yeah, the Sterling was like pray and spray, wasn't it? Single shot or full auto was always guessing game with the Sterling. I never fired a Sterling. Gustav, I fired the Gustav. Some people call it the Swedish K. That was a bit. Woohoo! There was no safety catch in that thing. If you dropped it, with the Irish Defence Forces wouldn't carry it with a magazine in it, and they wouldn't cock it, because if you dropped it or anything or you tripped, thing was lethal, and there was stories of the guys would put them in the bunkers on the, like in the bunkers. Some of the bunkers had like just a chimney hole in it, and what they would do was they'd lunatics. What they'd do is they'd get a handle of a sweeping brush, put it onto the magazine, or put the magazine and everything. Load the or the Swedish K or the Gustav, cock it, put a hand of a brush through the trigger, and drop it. And as they were dropping it, the thing would shoot off and it'd spin around the sweeping brush down through the bunker. And they were standing on the roof, supposedly safe. But yeah, I heard a story like that of lunacy that people were doing. Um, Military Collectibles, hi, how are you? Welcome, Military Collectibles. Hello, CJ. Nice helmet video. I was watching that on eBay, but didn't bid. Oh, I must look at that video. I didn't know CJ had put up a new video. CJ, thanks very much actually for the patches. They arrived during the week. You didn't have to put in the extra ones, but I don't know what the extra ones are. If you can help me out, I know what the other three of them are, but I don't know what the A one is. I don't know what the arrow one is, and I'm not sure if it goes that way or if it goes that way. And this one, I'm not sure what that one is neither. But yeah, thanks very much, CJ. I actually have a little bit of a thank you letter posted off to you. I know you weren't looking for trades and stuff, but I just said I'd send you off a letter to say hi and thanks very much anyway. So I hope that comes in the post anyway. Uh, Collecting, recovering of state property for some of us. My last name item was an era heavy piano. Era heavy piano. I won't lie. I was looking at DDR equipment today as well because I'm still trying to find a brown belt for him. So I was looking for DDR equipment, and I did find a shop in Ireland that is selling off a movie prop Walter PPK. Now I'm not sure if it would be correct to get a Walter PPK holster and put it on him, but it would look nice. So I don't know. So we'll wait and see. My grandfather had issues with the Sten gun. Never put a mag in it unless you were going to use it. He liked the Tommy gun until the commandos got them. Yeah. During the Second World War, the commandos and I think it was just the commandos pretty much held on to the Thompson right throughout the war. Compared to the Paras did have the Thompson at the start of the war. Well, when they were formed for their initial raids and stuff like that, they were using Thompsons. But then they went to the Sten gun and stuff like that. Lads in Africa, transport drivers, truck crews, tanks crews, things like that, they had the Thompson. But then when the Sterling came over, a lot of them went to the Sterlings, and then the Sterlings they had went to the Commandos or went to the SAS or the LRDG, things like that. Um, but an awful lot of guys, the Thompson was still in use. You can still see guys with pictures of D-Day, carrying from the Commandos, from Lovett's Commandos, carrying Thompsons. Thompson did Lovett. I think Lovett himself carried a Thompson, and his Piper, famous Piper, carried a Thompson as well. Rifle Green fired a Sterling once in 1991 or 1992. Had a big spring as part of it makes up. Yeah, the Sterling was literally a new and improved Sten gun, pretty much. Whereas the Sten was just a bare guts, didn't look pretty, didn't look nothing. Whereas the Sterling was sort of, yeah, we'll make it fancy looking, but there was literally nothing in it. It was literally a tube with a rotating bolt, um, and a trigger assembly. That was pretty much what the Sterling was, and the Sterling were. They were pretty much the same. The Sterlings would empty the mag on single shot when they got worn. We switched to the HK 53, which were a lot better. Yeah, the that's a problem with a lot of machine guns is because the parts are working uh, so hard and the forces are so great. Is the sear can get, which if any of you don't know, the sear is literally like a little piece of metal that flicks up, and as the bolt runs over it, as it comes back, or sorry, yeah, as it runs forward, it catches the a groove that's at the bottom of the bolt to stop it. Um, that's when you're on fully auto, I would say. So on semi-auto, there's like what you basically do is when you flick the from semi to auto, is you're flicking that little switch to come down, which stops the sear from engaging, which means the bolt will just keep going forward. Um, but those things get worn, obviously. The longer they're in service, they get worn, and yeah, so a little bit of military, not military, I suppose. Uh, Gunsmithing information there for you. The PPK is the PPK is somewhat I can't pronounce that word. Supplemented. I know what you mean. To the or the Makarov. Yeah. I did see Makarovs as well. If it, I don't know, something like the reason I was thinking of the Walter PPK was because during our banner, the UDR guys, I think some of the RUC guys, I think the RUC guys though were allowed to bring home their service pistols or carry their service pistols as personal protection pistols when they were off duty. But whereas the RUC or UDR guys um, carried a 22 version of the Walter PPK. It's a very small bloody round, if you ask me, to have as a personal protection pistol. I suppose it would work, but that's why I was looking at the Walter PPK as well, because I think it'd just take up two aspects of my collection, shall we say. Steel helmet stand, yeah, nice example. The A patch is the third army, okay. The IX is the ninth corps. Very, thank you very much. The one with the stars is Pacific Theater of Operations. Please, you like them, and they can. Yeah, I love them. I really like patches, but as I said, I was only looking for these two. Third Infantry Division, which if any of you know, that's Audie Murphy division, famous division, and Big Red One, which is another famous First Infantry Division, which is another famous division. Um, I asked him. They were the ones I asked him for, and I said I'd trade them for him, and he kindly sent me these extra ones, which was the first armored, and now that we know the what did we say the IX is the 9 core or XI, sorry. So if it's IX, it's that way, or is it that way? We'll figure it out. IX, and this is the Southern Pacific one, as he said, theater of operations, and the A, which is the Third Army. There we go. But yeah, thanks very much, CJ Military Collectibles. I have a little thank you letter sent off in the post. Um, so hopefully that'll arrive to you within the next few days, and just as a thanks, there's some contact details and stuff as well, so you can keep contact with me. Um, but yeah, me and Stan actually we were on the phone the other day. Like we do, me and Stan have our own private live stream occasionally, and it usually involves a bottle of Tulski, or a glass of something else. But we were chatting, and I can't remember exactly how the conversation went. But we were chatting in relation to just the that some people, for some strange reason, people that you've known all your lives, or people that you've been friends with all your lives, or whatever. But when they find out you're a collector of something, they sort of look at it like you're wearing a tinfoil hat for some strange reason. Um, that you think, oh, geez, your man's a bit mad. Look at him cleaning, collecting all this stuff. It's happened to me, and Stan was saying that it has happened to him. So I was just wondering, has it happened to anyone else that that they've known this person all their life for whatever reason? They didn't know that they collected military stuff, or collected, shall we say, was a reenactor and went at weekends dressed up as GDR, off banner, World War II, whatever they went dressed up as. And then when I found out that they find it a bit strange and sort of, okay, that's a bit strange, mate. Um, yeah, it's just an interesting conversation that me and Stan came up with. There are a few guys there though that I want to do. I'm going to try and get in contact with Dave. I know I meant to be have text you this week, but um, unfortunately I was busy and I'm still busy. But we'll get there. PS and I still have PPWS. Okay. Um, I that is interesting because I thought now that they'd have like gone on to more updated versions, would say like the Smith and Wesson Shield or a Glock 43 or something like that, like a compact version of a 9 millimeter. Because a 22, in fairness, 22 is a small round when it comes to what you want it to do. Like unless you get a lucky shot, it's going to take nearly the full magazine to stop someone. But yeah, that's interesting. Now I didn't know they were still using it. Yeah, sorry, I went off on a tangent anyway. There about in relation to things like that. But yeah, it was just an interesting conversation that we had. Rifle Green, I will email you as well during the week. I'm very busy with emailing and stuff like that. It's been a hectic week. And I know I was supposed to put up a video last Wednesday. I have it recorded. I have everything done. I just haven't been on nights with work, my real work, to be able. We will get around to it. There will be a video up Sunday. I might actually put. You know what I'll do is I'll put up the one that was supposed to up Wednesday. I'll put it up Sunday as well. Oh no, your connection is gone quiet. There we go. We're back again. We are not we are not for everyone. My interests are my own. In the Soviet sector, field security is of the utmost importance. International security is how we roll. Yeah, I suppose that's it too. Like you could be have your own little quiet corner. People do find it a little strange, but I've been given some great items who people who don't want military. Exactly, that's it. Like that's on the other side of it too. And I've had family members and friends and stuff bring me literally specifically go on holidays, walk past an antique store, or walk past somewhere and go, Jesus, John, I'd like that, and bring me back a piece of militaria. So yeah, that does happen. Sorry, my throat is very dry lately. Um, I was teaching. I was lecturing in something for a person, and my throat is very dry after it. Um, the video that was about these guys. I've done a bit more research on them. The Dundee stamp that's on this uh, is where have we gone? It's here, right? But on the magnifying glass, when you look at, there's another bit of over the top of the Dundee. It doesn't make it out there. Very bad, but it says Dundee, and over the top of it is the ministry stamp for that one, right? Now this one, which is the RAF Rescue Axe, unfortunately, is very heavily pitted, and I can't find a mark on it. And the mark is probably under here anyway. Right, so me and Stan have been colluding with each other on the best way to fix this. So there's a friend of mine who's a metal worker. So what he's going to do is he's going to go and cut all these bolts, separate this handle, the old handle, from here. Now we think the old handle is actually still in there. It, and we think it's going down here or whatever. So what he's going to do is he's going to try and clean this up, all this. He's going to weld the holes that are here because they shouldn't be here. This one anyway, in particular, and this one. He's going to weld them, fill them up, and clean them up. And we're going to put a timber handle on it. And then CJ, or Military Collectibles, nice chap there, we've got liquid rubber that we're going to dip it into because the handle would have had rubber on the outside of it. Um, for when so there was no electricity, or if you hit a line when you were trying to hack through something, a power line when you were trying to hack through something of a plane, you wouldn't get shocked. So that's what we're doing. Um, so look forward to seeing that when it's done. So yeah, that car boot sale video I did actually, an awful lot of people found it very popular for what I got. Um, Stan, I've got stuff. People, I've been given stuff by people for the hobby stuff to people who look down their noses. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's I don't know. It's a weird one. It is a weird situation. Give that fella a cup of tea. Oh, Stan or me? uh, Glock is PPW. Okay, worn on the uniform and the PPW as well. Hmm. Okay, very good. Um. Okay, so they do use the Glock as well, though. Okay, that's very good. Stan DDRT. Nice axes. Yeah, they are great axes. I was very happy with them. Going to get another old fashioned. Being given an RAF silk escape map. Ooh. The Enfield canvas carry case and a pair of old air ministry binoculars. Um. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I was given. I was given a SS reproduction side cap off a family friend wherever they found it. I don't know where they got it, but I was given that. That was probably the only. That still is. Well, still was the. Excuse me, the first and and only piece for a long time of German um, military stuff that I had, and then all of a sudden I ended up getting it with a lot more. Um, I don't know if any of you see that smock that I found. I found out actually that's made by a company called Miltech, and they're I think they're German. I'm not sure where they're from, but they're a budget. Um, they do have some good reproductions, quality stuff for reenactment. So that's where that smock came from. I had a friend of mine who's into the German stuff. He checked it out for me, and that's where he thinks it's from is Miltech. Um, any buys at the auction on Monday? And no, I didn't. I just didn't have the money to tell you the truth. But did you pick up anything actually? There was a few things there. All right, I did like. We will remember. Yes, Germany. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean. We will remember, but yes, we will remember. Um, yeah. So that was. If any of you don't know what the auction Patrick was talking about, there's chat popped in last week to the live stream, and there was a huge auction in Belfast. Belfast, yeah, Belfast last week. For up banner stuff that was being oh, it's a German company. Oh, very good. Miltech is a German company. Okay, perfect. Thanks very much. There, we will remember. Um, yeah. So that was the crack. It was a huge auction. I loved some of the stuff that was there was nice. Couldn't afford it. I wonder. Um, is Kenny there? Nobody's there. I wouldn't mind a deactivated MG53. I wouldn't mind a deactivated anything from the German era. K98, um, MP40, something like that. Can we kill Kenny? Kenny's not there to be killed, is he? Or is that Kenny? We will remember. Is that Kenny in disguise? Um, Kenny's not there. No, he's alright. He's okay. He's fine. He's just talking away there. So we've a half an hour, guys. As I said, I have family stuff to do this evening, so I couldn't. I can't stay any longer than 9 o'clock. So if any of you have any questions or anything you want to hop off me, you're more than welcome to do so now until 9 o'clock when I log out. Um, in my good Primark or for Ireland pennies jumper and shirt. I can't understand like when you go shopping with your lady friends or even your male friends. It's up to yourself or whatever, but more so with the lady friends is you go to a shop, say for those of you in England, M&S or something like that or whatever. As a guy, you go, okay, I need a pair of jeans. You walk in, you go to the jeans section, pick up whatever jeans you are, in my case, 34, 32. Go, yeah, that's them. And you walk out the door. Well, you don't walk out the door. You go to the counter, you pay for them, and then you walk out the door. Whereas, there's something, there's a family do or something coming up that you need to look sort of clean and presentable for. So you go, okay, shirt, jumper, pants. Okay, no problem. Pants is going to cost me $10, $20. Shirt cost me another $10. Jumper cost me $10. So I'm €30 deep into my ensemble for that family festivity. But you go then with your girl partner, and it's no, we can't just decide on what we want. We have to ramble around the shop for 3 hours before they decide what they want, and then still don't get what they want, and then when they do buy something, they say, oh, "I don't really like it." Breed. Sorry. Um, Steel helmet stand, worldwide arms M53 is just over 800. Their winter catalog has just come out. I must look up their winter catalog actually because they do have some deals. There was a neat flag of crossed rifles. Thought it might be Republican and nice for my banner display. No answers though when I asked, so I didn't bid. Oh, okay. I actually I have a video coming up because I was dealing with a person through the comment section there for a while. Um, in relation to why me, from the south, collect banner stuff. So there will be a video coming out on that because I explain it stuff. I am not political. I don't agree with any side up there. Uh, and just in the video, I will explain things why I collect and stuff like that. But I just want to state to people, I don't agree with what the paramilitaries did. I don't agree with some aspects of what happened by the British government. Has it been proven that the British government colluded to certain things? Absolutely. Has it been proven that the Irish government colluded with certain things? Absolutely, it has. Um, so it's a big fucking, pardon my French, it's a big mad mixed pot of everything and anything. So um, the reason that in a nutshell, the reason I collect up banner stuff, not just up banner stuff, but specifically with the up banner stuff. The reason I collect the up banner stuff is because you need to teach, or we need to teach future generations of what happened up there so it doesn't happen again. And if I'm dyslexic, so if I can show you what an RUC man looked like, I can show you what a Royal Green jacket looked like. I can show you what a UDR man looked like because it puts a picture in your head of a generation now that don't know what they look like. But here, now you can. I can also do representations of paramilitaries if I wanted. I don't do it because, quite frankly, I don't think it'd be very tasteful if I put up a mannequin of a guy with a freaking balaclava on and other aspects to represent a paramilitary. So yeah, so I just wanted to make that clear for a few people. Not that there's none of you actually here, the fellas that I was dealing with, but they might see the video and get the message. Um, Military collectibles, yeah, I got my. Oh, sorry, I missed a few there. Did I? Blokes buying stuff, ladies doing stuff. Yes, exactly. It is different when guys go shopping compared to when ladies go shopping. Um, they have a DX 1940 M1 Brain, but I was outbid. Oh, bugger. I have a DX. Wait a minute, too, though. Military collectibles. Yeah, I got mine today. Was looking at it today. I reckon with a belt and drum mag, it would be excellent display, cheaper than World War Two German. Yeah, would be. Fair play to you, John. Oh, about yeah. Okay, look, sure. The troubles were complicated, and troubles were complicated is an understatement. It is an understatement that they were complicated. But look, if we all wrap ourselves in cotton wool and go, these things didn't happen. They did happen. Um, Collusion did happen on both sides. People were killed. They could have been saved. Uh, it's a massive wormhole, and I'm not going to go into it because my interest in the collecting of up banner stuff is to educate future generations of people to go, this should not happen again, and it should not happen again, and it will not happen again if I have anything to do with it. Steel helmet stand, distributor of the M43, M42 53 as part of the World War II rather than a lookalike. For a short while, they used bits from each gun before they went to the M53. Okay. Nick, except at military fairs when guys can stop helping for hours. Yeah, exactly. If that's, I suppose that's the only one. Whereas guys, when they're at a military fair or a car boot sale, I did 4 laps. Yeah, like right. My tactic when it comes to a car boot sale. Now, some people ask me what a car boot sale was. A car boot sale is pretty much they can be enclosed or outside, whereas the cars pull up, you pay whatever, €10 or whatever to have your car there, and you sell out of your car boot. That's what a car boot sales can be. Car park. Sometimes they have indoor arenas and stuff where they park all the cars inside them. My local one is every Sunday. So my tactic with the car boot sale is I go in and I go right, and I do a lap. Just look around, do a lap of all the stalls. Remember, okay, try not to show a bit of interest and stuff. Um, but do a lap of stuff and pick up little items, and then do on your second lap. That's when you start asking questions, and then if you need to do a third lap, do a third lap. That's my tactic when it comes to car boot sales. I do a lap first without buying anything. Just have a snoop around and see if I can find anything. And then if you do see a guy with military stuff on his stall or his table or stuff like that, have a rummage around. Just don't go, oh, that's whatever, and go past because they will have stock in their car that they might have put up on the shelf yet. Just ask them if any army bits and pieces there for whatever reason. Come up with an excuse. Don't let them know that you're interested, or the fucking price will go up to the ceiling. Sorry, the in-laws are visiting. I can't escape. Quick, somebody help Andy. Lock and load. We're going to Andy's house. He needs he needs freedom. Oh, that's very bad. Very bad and tasteful. Especially for what I was talking about a while ago. I didn't mean that. Andy, sorry, you're gonna have to sink or swim. You're gonna have to be there on your own tonight. Send help. Um Military collectibles. Cheers, CJ. Yeah, I've just got to save up now, which watch this space. Space is something I'm fast running out of. You need to build an extension. I'm telling you now, Stan. Because I know your other half is looking for an extension, so you need an extension. Compromise, always compromise. She gets the extension, you get an Anderson shelter in the back garden or something. I'm laughing. Yeah, quick, somebody save Andy there. What time have we? 20 to 9. Oh, we've 20 minutes. Uh, I've got my 1914 DX SMLE out at the minute. Anderson shelter. Yeah, exactly. But build an Anderson shelter or something in the back garden if she gets the extension. Could put all your home front stuff then in the Anderson shelter. See, think, guys. Open question. What was the first item of your collection? Mine was World War Two German K98 bayonet. My dad swapped for a gallon of petrol in the early 1970s. Still got it. Everyone has their first something. My first, I suppose, was that I can remember. They weren't given to me until I was older, but was is my little Bible from my great grandfather and his crucifix. So that and his Bible. Now this I know isn't military related, but it is to a certain degree because I know he carried it during the First World War, and this. So they'll be my two first pieces of my collection that I can remember. Um, my op banner was an RUC hat. Was my first piece of my op banner collection. My World War Two was I went to the Imperial War Museum, I suppose, when I was 12 or 13, and I used to be able to get these folders with all reproduction documents and newspapers and stuff in them. I got one of them from First World War, and I got one of them from the Blitz. Still have them. I might actually do a video on them. They were my first forte into World War One and World War Two, and my first Vietnam item would have been my uncle's side cap from Vietnam, because I have a family member that served in Vietnam as well. So yeah, so that's all the first pieces of my collection that I can remember. Where have we gone? The unpleasantness of the Balkans is the history. of the Youngo M4356. I have JNV and later company investments. They made suitable weapon systems. Oh yeah, a lot of the Yugoslavian army stuff was German based, if you get me. So when the and Kalashnikovs and stuff like that. So when the Civil War broke out, their things went a bit mad. The great days of the 20 pirated DVDs for £5, nothing like a cross border car boot sale. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You can still find them. You can still find the old cross border car boot sales with stuff being sold. My grandfather's WW2 issue. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Things that I've had longest are military books from the 70s, but hardware I got a 1918 dated shell case in about 1995 for their about or thereabouts. Been non-stop ever since. Yeah, um, it doesn't stop. I'm sorry to tell you, Stan, it doesn't stop. It only gets worse. Um, I normally try and buy a piece from my collection once a week, maybe every week or every payday. And I get paid fortnightly. So every payday or every paycheck, I try and purchase something, swap something, trade something. Um, or I feel miserable, actually, to tell you the truth. If I don't, I know it's a drug, it's a sickness, but yeah. So that's my collection. Um, that's what I first started collecting. Was definitely my first World War was the crucifix in the Bible. It was given to me by my grandfather. It was actually given to me by my grandmother, and they were her her side of the families. Yeah, they were her side of the families. Um, yeah. So I'm not going to go back into it again. I've just sold two trade sets so I can buy more military. You were a right anorak, Stan, weren't you? With between train spotting and military collecting, and don't you bird watch from your roof as well with a pair of binoculars? At least they're World War II binoculars, I suppose. So, I mean, we have to give you that. Um, Last was a pair of King's Crown Naffy Voice. No, show. My last was actually the video that I did of the stuff that I found at Carbutza. That was my last buys. Where are we going? I hold the loft as it has spiders in it. Um, I dislike spiders, even though they swarm. To her, first piece of kit was a 37 pattern universal pouch. If only I could with escape. Yeah. Military man. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Um, Jesus, it must be a bit early from where you are. Are you in Canada? No, you're not in Canada. I don't think. Um, we have a great contingent. We've got a Scotsman who's actually living in Poland. We have a Canadian guy that regularly watches. We have an Australian guy that normally comments on my stuff because he's in Australia. But I was for years a rough and tough rugby player. I'm only an anorak in order 6 days a week. uh, if we can't have a laugh and a joke, lads, what's the point of it altogether? What is the point in having a laugh and a joke if we don't have? Or what is the point of it all if we don't have a laugh and a joke? That's what I'm trying to say. Jesus, it is Ribena I'm drinking. Don't worry. Very dehydrated today. Actually, I got a massive pain in the back of my head. So I have funny actually because I was at work and I was drinking out of. I brought one of my RUC little water bottle thingy. I just came in and I was like, I need a water bottle to bring to work with me for to carry water in it. And I was like, I can't bring one of my Vietnam or my 58 pattern water bottles because first of all they're not clean. So I was like, grabbed that can, grabbed the water bottle, filled it with milk and shook it, cleaned it out, and I was like, yeah, that'll do me. 1968, 1960 Malaya setup. You want me to do a Malaya setup, or that was your first piece that you collected? Was a Malaya setup? Um, I could do one, I suppose. I could. Uh, yeah, I could, I suppose. It's the creek. That's my chair. I need to get a new chair. I need to get an office chair. I need to get something. Um, I was actually. I was contemplating because I started getting stuck for like this isn't the end all of the war room. The war room will be moved again, but I was trying to figure out how I'm going to display stuff in the new room because it's sort of taking shape and it's getting to an end. We're getting there. We're getting there. Um, oh, look at this. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. It's for service in a steel mug and all. I'm not sure about the biscuit though. Maybe oh, she feels crack indeed. Um, 44 pattern webbing, etc. I do I have 44 pattern webbing? I do. I do actually have. I have a 44 pattern um haversack because somehow the Australians got their hands on them in Vietnam. You see an awful lot of guys with them. The '08 pattern packs, their own different type of packs. Packs when it comes to the Australians in Vietnam was anything that went really. '08 packs, you could see them wearing those, the big haversacks. You could see them wearing their own version of a backpack. 44 pattern haversacks they wore. Then they would beg, borrow, and steal like the Arvin backpacks off of the Americans or their lightweight rucksacks. They get you can see pictures of Australian guys wearing them as well. They literally, and when it came to packs, they literally anything they could get their hands on, they would use. Um, I was actually looking. That was what I was looking at today as well in my Vietnam rabbit hole that I went down. Um, price of packs for backpacks are very very expensive. Like the lightweight backpack, you're looking at 200 and something sterling, um, which is a bit of a bugger. The Irvin backpack, forget about it. 44 pattern is a sickness, but it's a very sweet sickness. Cup of tea, yes, cup of tea in a steel mug, and it's a pint steel mug. She knows me well. Better that now. She's looking for something. Dun, 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 dun. The plot thickens. Right, boys, we've 10 minutes. Now I know what it is. She's like, here, so you can't say that you need to have a cup of tea or something before we go. Uh, the World War One era steel mug. I do. I have two of them. This is my first World War. I bought it in like a old fashioned DIY shop. They literally had everything and anything inside it. And then Andy, who's floating around there somewhere, kindly sent me a 50s. Or sorry, this is the one that I got off of Soldier Fortune. That has now got everything and anything inside it because it I drank 2 cups of tea out of it or something and it all flaked off. The paint all flaked off the inside of it. And then Andy, who's floating around there somewhere, kindly get this out. Kindly sent me an original 50s British one for my World War II impression. And I have drank out of this as well, and it is nice. But yeah, there's my mug collection. Uh, anyone going to Melbourne this week, this month? I am hoping to get away to a show. Anyone got any thoughts on obsolete caliber weapons UK law? I also fancy rifle or how are you legally supposed to store them, etc. Or any time, yeah. That is control of the. Yeah, exactly. Um, Actually, I don't know if anyone can answer because we're seeing as we're answering questions, right? If I went to a show, I'm not sure how it works. If I went to a show in Northern Ireland, right, from the south, there's no checkpoints. But I presume if I was to bring a DIAC or an airsoft or something from the south to the north, I presume I have to have some bit of paperwork with it. I've never done it, but I'm just thinking because there are shows and there are antique shops and stuff in the north that you can buy DNX and you can buy DX and stuff. And in Ireland, once you have a DX cert, that's fine. It's legal. But what's the story with bringing it back down the border? I don't know. Good mug size is important. Yes, the ladies love the mug size. It's all about the girth, if you know what I mean. My 1917 Soviet shotgun is stored in a metal box as I assume something like that's that. Yeah, some sort. Dog chew the two. The shotgun. Oh, he'd be getting slapped with a shotgun. He would, and it wouldn't be to be the working end he'd be getting as there's a. I need to shave. I forgot actually. I never bloody shaved for this thing. That'd be alright. It's good. I don't really like the people I'm going to see anyway. Um, but yeah, oh well. It is what it is, guys. Let's be honest about it. What time is it? 5 to 9. She'll be giving out now shortly. But yeah, so as I said, guys, I'm sorry I can't do a longer live stream this week, but we will get back to when obviously Caliber's law have changed recently to only for certain weapons. The law in Ireland is you can have a DIAC of anything except ordnance, which is strange. But except ordnance, you can have a DIAC of whatever the hell you like once it's after a certain period. And I think this period I picked was the 70s. So you can have the likes of M42 or M42, M44s, K98s, SMLEs, M1 Garands, um, things like that deactivated with a cert. That's all you need. The likes of having a DIAC, AK, and SLR and things like that, you need a different type of cert. But once you have the cert, it's fine. You can have as many the hell as you want. But with ordnance, you can have a shell. You can have the head of the shell, but you can't have the head of the shell on the shell. They have to be separate. Um, Things like that. There are little other grey areas when it comes to ordnance and stuff like that. Um, Steel helmet stand. There's around 10 obsolete calibers which have been put on the British government illegal to own list. Why? They're obsolete. Hmm, you know. That's the thing about obsolete calibers. They are legal and a live firearm but don't need a license. I've seen them sold at fairs and there are no way of knowing if they are obsolete. Oh, okay. I don't think I can have that here. I don't think we've got that category here. That's what putting me off buying one of them and the law changes. Some are now on Section 1 due to criminal use. Um, in Ireland, it's a bit strange. The law isn't on the firearm, the law is on the ammunition. So, but say if you have a deer license or a license that requires you to have, for whatever reason, target shooter, you can have a 7.62 round with it. That's your license, is actually the round. It's not the rifle, it's the round. Um, you can have, like, your rifle is a 2.2 rifle. They're bracketed. Doesn't say what type of rifle you have to have for that ammunition. But yeah, there you go. Uh, Steel helmet stand. One can own certain obsolete guns or an actual round of them as super item. But as soon as the obsolete round goes into the obsolete gun, it's section 1 live fire. Mm. SLRs are beautiful weapons. Yes, SLRs are beautiful weapons. I only have an airsoft version. YouTube. This is airsoft, paperweight, no battery, no nothing in it. Um, it is a prop, is what it is. That's my SLR. I have the timber version as well, whereas the stock is timber, but this is the most common one, I suppose you will see from the Falklands and stuff like that. Now, put you back in there. Military collectibles, complicated stuff. Can you get practice rounds to cycle the action of the boat? Having the Greg is only set dressing. Gag is, yeah, it's actually, yeah, it's literally, it's this is for um interesting. It's for it's a highlight of my collection. It sets it off. I do need to get a pokey bit for the end of it, but I don't know where I could get one of them ones. Mm, in England, obviously at a show, so I need to try and get over sometime. Right, boys, it's 9 o'clock, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes there to be saying good luck and thanks or whatever if you have any final questions because I have to go and meet people. But yeah, okay, we'll get there, I suppose. I've never ate my biscuit, so I'll be eating my biscuit here while you're chatting away amongst yourselves. Where we go? The updated list would be on the Home Office website. Okay. Still have a stand. Practice rounds would be fine. Military man L1, A3, SL, or bayonet. Any type of pokey thing to go on the top of that. I don't have one. I must get one. So, yeah, the A3 version would be fine. The A2 version would. The A3. Yeah, I suppose you could like have Falklands on. You could do with it. Yeah. Cheers for the info. M53 first thing I thought. Great show. Great for being on the bus. See. Oh, you're still on the bus, Patrick. I hope you didn't break up much when you were driving around. Later on. I don't know why people live in Leitrim because there's all there. Money joke. Money joke, seriously. Uh, it's nice to just sit down, have a chat, a cup of tea. But, yeah. Wood furnishings on the SLR. You don't want to mess about with the spring when. No, I'm lucky in the way the fact that I can literally just go. Whoa. Falklands, up banner, Rhodesian Wars, whatever the hell you want. I can go Rhodesian Wars. Whoops, Rhodesian Wars. Australians, Vietnam. Although their rifles were slightly different, they would take out this little piece of it here and then this bit here that have a full notch. But yeah, I do need to get pointy things for the end of them. Not that they would fit on the end of it, but nice to have. Um, nothing but sheep and probos. It's like awfully cool, awfully cold and awfully. Best SLR bayonet discuss. Anyone that doesn't break, as you, if you understand what I mean. At least ban all come about because the latest ban came about because the UK regretted firearms dealer registered firearms actually making obsolete guns live rounds. and he got caught. So the Home Office took a look. Common obsolete calibers. What a donkey! Just like everything else, it's just someone up for everyone else. First one I got to use during recruit time. Any bayonet that doesn't snap when you're plunging it into a cabbage patch is the one is a good one, because they do have a tendency to snap. Actually, to tell you the truth. Right, guys, I better go. I will talk to you all again next week. Sunday, I will have two videos coming up, and yeah, I'm gonna put up two videos Sunday, just because I have them. I might as well put them up. Hope you all have a good weekend, safe weekend. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the flip side. I'll see you next week. Once I can, one or two messages coming in. We see what's happening here. Millage Collectibles. Cheers, yeah. The only ones I'd be interested in was one that mentioned Martini, Henry, nothing else really. Cheers, mate. Thanks, mate. Yeah, no problem, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy yourselves, and I will see you all next week. Enjoy.